Come on. Okay. Good evening. Thank you so much for being here and just being a part of what we're doing here tonight. As Cole said, my name is Emily Cope. Ken and I have been in Prosperity for over 21 years and absolutely love it here and call it home. I want to give you some insight because a lot of you in the room know our children. You know, we are officially Lauren and John Lawson's parents. Everywhere I go, they're like, "Oh wait, you're John Lawson's mom." Like, yeah, I'm John Lawson's mom. And so I want to share with you just a little bit because we, of course, you know, have always been in church. We raised our children in church. In fact, we raised our children in this church. And so our children had a good church home. They were surrounded by people who loved them and cared about them, but they still struggled, especially Lauren. You know, I'll start out with her. Lauren struggled to make friends. Y'all, there were so many days that she would call me from the high school bathroom, middle school bathroom and the high school bathroom at lunch, crying. "Mom, nobody wanted to sit with me at lunch. Mom, I don't have any friends. They're mean to me." And I don't know about you guys, but nothing breaks a mama's heart more than when their baby's crying because nobody loves them, nobody accepts them. And so what Cole was saying about the struggles that these teenagers have, I saw it firsthand, and it broke my heart. So when Lauren said, "Hey, there's this Young Life thing, I want to go," I was like, "Okay, well, you know, we'll give it a try." And I saw such a change in my daughter. I saw her become a lady who was more confident, who was comfortable sharing her faith, and who found relationships, and she found friendships, not only with students that she went to school with, but she found a big brother and a big sister in Cole and Tori. And for that, I will always be grateful. And so I have watched her not only grow in her faith, but find that comfort of being surrounded by people who truly, truly care for her. John Lawson, on the other hand, Mr. Personality. My kids are very different. I don't know how we ended up with two kids that were completely different personality-wise, but you know, John Lawson would be up here making absolutely everybody laugh and being the center of attention. So he had a little bit different personality. He fit in differently, but he struggled still with finding people who shared his values. And he's like, you know, I just don't really fit in. Again, not as bad as Lauren. I didn't get crying calls from the bathroom from John Lawson, but it was how do I fit in? How do I stand firm in my beliefs and integrate with the people I'm going to school with? Now, John Lawson had watched Lauren go through Young Life a couple of years before he could join, so he was 100% in and ready to get involved. So he was very active. Cole would sometimes have contests of who can invite the most new people to club, and John Lawson always won it. And I'm like, "Did you know all these people?" He said, "No, I just walked down the highway at school going, 'Hey, Young Life Club, my house, here's the address, show up.'" It meant so much to him that he would reach out to even people he didn't know and go, "You need to come be part of this." I never worried where John Lawson was. You know, when you've got teenage boys and they go, "Hey, I'm heading out," you kind of want to go, "Where are you going?" I knew where John Lawson was. He was hanging out with Tyler. He was hanging out at Cole's house with Cole and Tori playing Catan, which is the most frustrating game I've ever played in my life, but they love it. Or he was at Genesis. And Eddie, man, you have provided such a place for youth to be, and it is a safe place. And I never worried because I went, "Oh, he's at Genesis. It is good. He's surrounded by good people, and he's hanging out with the Young Life crew." And so those things made a difference. You know, even every week, at 6:30 one morning every week, I believe, they would go to Waffle House and have Bible study. Now, y'all, I don't know about y'all, but when I was like 17, 18, I was not getting up at 6:30 to go to the Waffle House for a Bible study. And to be a parent and to see that in your children is incredible. Ken and I had a village And Young Life was a major part of that, and I'm so grateful for that. I will say that to this day, our kids are involved in churches. Lauren lives in Liberty. John Lawson lives in Nashville. They are very active in their churches. They're involved in small groups, and they do a daily quiet time and devotional Bible study at the ages of 23 and 21. Those are the types of values that Young Life instilled in them. And when they have problems to this day, I'm like, have you talked to Cole and Tori? So I still send them back because, Mom and Dad still really don't know much, although they're starting to realize that. But these are the things that mean something. And we have hard Mondays. Mondays are not very fun at work. But I'll tell you, when I go home on Monday night, and usually the kids beat me to the house by the time I drive home, my yard's full of like 30 youth that are laughing, they're having fun. They may be sitting around a fire pit. No lie, Ken and I have been sitting in the living room one night, and I watched a raw chicken go flying through the air. I went, I've got to go see this. And they're out there with sheets, tossing a raw chicken back and forth. Cole tells me they can't play with raw chickens anymore. But root beer baseball, if you've never played root beer baseball, the mother in me is going, you are not getting in your car like that. But they shake up a can of root beer, and they hit it with a bat, and then they roll the ball, and it's kind of like baseball. And y'all, it is incredible to watch. And just to watch them having fun, relating to each other, and knowing that they're going to hear about Jesus that night. And it is incredible. We did have people ask, they're like, well, John Lawson's graduated now. I mean, are y'all still going to host Young Life? It's like, yeah. Because as a committee member, I get to hear the testimonies like Cole shared with you tonight. We usually have one of the youth come in and talk to us about what Young Life means to them. But we get to hear about, hey, here's what we did with the youth. This is what they're struggling with. And y'all, they need us more now than ever. So I want to offer you 2 challenges. Number 1, be a part of Young Life. Some way, somehow, help us reach these youth, because we're going into schools, we're going wherever we can, and they need us. The second is, most all of you, I'm sure, are involved in a church. Focus on making your church a good church home, because a lot of these youth don't have a place to call a church home, and they're going to age out of Young Life. And when they do, it's on each and every one of us to make sure they've got somewhere to go. So, how has Young Life impacted my children? It was life-changing. It was absolutely life-changing. And it still is so much a part of who they are today. They go back to camp. They volunteer, they go to camp, and absolutely love going there to volunteer to help make camp happen for others. And I will tell you, I'm incredibly blessed by where we are right now. So thank you.